Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lulua Tech Designs, and I'm your boy Lulua Mark. We are back with the third part of our project. This is a 3-bedroom bungalow that we are designing in Revit. So we have done this much. This is our floor plan that we had. We managed to have our openings, the doors and the windows. Then we also furnished our rooms with beds, the washrooms. The living room has the couch, TV, and all the stuffs. We have the the dining. We also had the kitchen, and all these rooms have been fully furnished. And if you come to the 3D, you see that's what we have. The house now looks like a house. Much as it doesn't have a roof, it doesn't have a slab, no veranda, no nothing, but at least you can feel that it is becoming a house and of course a home. So today we are going to do the slab, the roof, and we shall see where we can finish or stop. Basically, it will depend on how far we can move. Now, to start the day, we shall go to the floor and create our slab for the ground floor. So if you want to create a slab or a floor, you'll come to your architecture tab, then you look for floor. You see our floor is here. Then you click on this drop down. We select the first one which says floor architecture. You click on that. As always, you come to this edit type to edit the type, and of course we have to always duplicate. After duplicating, we can rename it the way we want. We are going for a floor, and I will just leave it at that. You can write any name you want, and then of course we shall come to edit the structure. The structure here is basic. They have given us one structure, but in thickness, I want this thickness to, I think, remain 150 millimeters. Then in the material, we shall click on this material by category. And then it will load for us our material browser. And of course, we always have to create a new material from here. Create a new material. When it gives us the default, you right click, rename it. Then we shall say our flow, or you can write anything you want. As always, you have the freedom to do so. In the graphics, I don't know what kind of material we shall use, but let me just ignore this graphics and come to the appearance. Then of course we always load the asset browser by clicking on this. And then from here, what can I really search for? Let's first look for floor, because floors have mostly tiles, so we shall see what they will give us. So we can select this flooring from the appearance here. If I expand this is appearance library. So I'll click on this floor, and we shall have these floors here. This one has a wood finish. There are so many here, but I'm seeing the tiles are here. These are a lot more that you can really select from. I believe, and I think I can go with this. I'll just select this and close this. And then now when you look at this, it can guide us on the color we can give for our graphics. So back to graphics, I'll just now select something that is a little bit reddish, something like that. Then I'll click OK. At least if you see here, they're almost looking the same. So I'll basically apply, and then I'll click OK. From here, I don't think there's more that we want to do. I'll just click OK. Then here I'll click apply. I'll click OK. Now you realize our floor plan becomes gray. There's nothing you can do here other than picking the tool or the construction method you need to use for creating the flow. So now we shall come and select these tools from here. I'll go with the pick line, which is always my preferred option, because if you pick lines, it picks the exact line of the wall faces. So I'll do some offset. Here I want to offset it at 500, just like that. So I'll come and pick the exterior sides of our wall, just like that. We have actual finish. So I'll come to the trim to extend. I'll just extend this to this, I'll extend that to that, I'll extend this one to this, just like that. When we are done, you make sure all these are linked up so that the Revit will not complain. If you leave any gap, it will not accept. So we shall tick, and it will pour for us that blue slab. It is looking blue because it is still active. When I just click out here, it will give us the color we created. You realize we gave it this color. I don't know if you like this color. It's really looking red like blood, but nevertheless, I think I am going to turn off this color. I'll just come to this visual style, then I'll go to hidden lines, just like that, so that the red is not too much into our eyes. So now that is how you can basically create a flow. When we come to the 3D, that's what we have. See that? That's what we have. I am quite sure so many people will not like this color. So for that case, I'm going to select this slab, and it will also help you how to edit it. I'll come back to edit type. I'll come to this edit. We shall not duplicate it this time. Then I'll click on the material. This time we are going to change this material for sure. I'll look for something that is white, because really that blood is not looking well in my eyes. I'll select this to open the asset browser. I'll still look for flow. Let it load. So I'll come to the flooring in the appearance library. Here we are going to select something that is a little bit white. I don't want, I have a problem with that. Okay, this one is okay now. I'll just apply, okay, okay, apply, okay. Now that's what we have. I believe that is much better. I don't know about you, but I feel this is a better color than the other one that was really red, and it was over scaring me, so I had to do away with it. So this is what we have. Our house is beginning to look like a house. As I told you, we now have our slab that has tiles. It even already has a veranda here, which I think is so good already. Now this is basically for the ground slab or ground floor. Let's now proceed to the top part of this house. We are now going higher and higher. To do anything on top of this house, we shall now go to the floor plan, which is in the project browser, and the project browser is always on the right hand side of this interface. You click on the positive sign, and from here we shall now open the roof level. For the first time, we're going to work on the roof level. You double click on it, it will open it here, and you'll see your ground floor is appearing, but it is grayed out. You cannot even select anything here. That means Whatever thing you see here is below the level that we are working on. So what I want to achieve here is, first of all, I want to create also another slab here on top of this house to close it up. To do that, we shall still come to architecture, we go to floor, then we select our architectural floor, and this time we shall just select this floor that we created. When you click on this drop down, it will show you all the kinds of floors you have. So I'll click on this one we created, and I will still pick lines as always, and this time I'll pick the interior sides of our wall faces, just like that. This one is up to here, here, and I guess that is the last. So now we have created this. We need to trim. We come to our trim tool, which is TR. You make sure this one is linked with this, then where else, then this one is linked with that. I think that is all, really. That is all. I'll just click OK, and there we have our first component at the roof level. When you come to your 3D, you'll see the house has been locked. The downer part has been closed up, and you can't see inside now from above. So at this point, maybe let me just show you one thing that you can achieve. How someone may ask, how can I edit the slab? If you want to edit the slab, you just click on it either from here, the floor plan, or from the 3D. You can select it anywhere. After selecting, you just come to edit type. It will give you these lines, and you can do anything with these lines. You can redraw the lines, you can offset, you can give it a different measurement, you can do all sort of things. After finishing, you just tick and you'll be back to normal. So make sure you always save your work, because if you don't do so, you lose the progress. So now at the roof level, we have already created a slab here that has blocked, or that has covered the top of the part of this house. Now we are ready to create our roof. At this point, we are going to create our roof. So to create a roof, you do it at the roof level. You come to your architecture, then you look for roof. Our roof is here. You click on the drop down. We're going to select the first roof, which is roof by footprint. There's also roof by extrusion, roof by face, there's the roof soffit, there's the roof fascia, and the roof gutter. All these things are here. I have a project where I used all these ones, so you can look through the playlist, and you'll be able to find all these components and how to use them. So we shall select the first, which is roof by footprint. After selecting it, as always, I keep emphasizing that because that is the basic way we always do things here. You come to the edit type, then you duplicate. I believe by now you know how to do these things. You come to roof. Okay, you just write roof or anything that you want to write here, and then you edit type. You see our thickness here is 400, so there's no way you can have a roof of 400 millimeters unless now, I don't know if it really exists, but roofs, if you have ever seen iron seats, you can't find an iron seat that has a thickness of 400 millimeters. So we shall put our roof at, let's say, 16 millimeters of 15 millimeters, something like around this range, makes sense. Then the material, of course, we shall always create a new material, then we shall name it a roof or something else according to what you want. I'll ignore the graphics for now. In the appearance, I'll click on this to open the asset browser, and I'm looking for roof, and it will generate for me all the roof materials. I'll come to the appearance library, I'll look for roof, and we shall have all these types of materials for creating a roof. So for roof, I think I'll just go with this, or that I still don't want too much red. So I've selected that. I'll close this. I'll just apply here, click OK, click OK, apply, OK. The same way we use the pick lines is the same way we're going to also pick lines for roof. Now when I click on my pick lines here, I can now start selecting roof. For roof, you need to select, first of all, if you are creating a hipped roof, which we are going to start with, you can pick the exterior sides. That really works better for only hipped roof. So as always, after selecting or picking all the lines, you come to your trim, you make sure they are all linked up. Revit does not accept more than one loop. So this is basically it for the hipped roof. So when I click OK, it will show you this, that would you like to attach the highlighted walls to the roof. Of course, we don't want to attach it. If you attach, all the walls will get attached to the roof, which we don't want. And when I click do not attach, it will create for us a roof. You can see it better in the 3D. So that is the kind of roof we have created. The color it is giving us is the shaded color. If I come to this visual style, I change it to realistic, we shall be able to see the material we gave it. So let's wait and see. That is what we have. You see, we now have what we call a house. This one now looks like a house, not so. So something like that. This is called a hipped roof. Now I'm going to show you some small things about different kinds of roofs, because I told you the roof one for this project is a hidden roof, and it is going to be a lean-to roof. I have not really done any project where I created this kind of hipped roof because it's a little bit old-fashioned, though people are still creating roofs like this at homes, but for my projects I really don't prefer them. So now to edit this roof, I'm going to turn off the realistic color because realistic color makes work heavy. So back to visual style, I'll select shaded or hidden line. So now you can click on the roof. You see this slope here. You can change this slope because this slope is a lot. Let's first of all put it at 15 and see. If you put it at 15, that's what you'll get. The roof will now become a little bit lower. It will go lower, and it will spread a little bit wider. And smaller slopes are actually preferred, because when the slopes are a bit smaller, that means you'll use few timbers compared to high slopes that require a lot of timbers for extensions. Now if you want to edit this roof, you just come to, after selecting it like this, it will always turn blue. You come to this edit footprint, then it will turn this into lines. Then we shall come to the roof level where we can now edit it. Assuming if you want to create a gable roof, remember the first roof we created was a hipped roof. Now let's try and create a gable roof. Gable roof is basically that roof where two sides are hipped and other sides are not hipped. They are open. They are covered with wall, parapet wall. So we shall, let's say these sides we're leaving them as gables, then these two sides will be hipped. So you click on this line, you see this define slope, you just uncheck it. You can do it for even this, you uncheck it. You can do it for that, uncheck it. And the entire side, this side here, we want to uncheck them. Come to here, you uncheck that, you come to this, you uncheck that, you come to this, you uncheck that. And then we only leave slopes for these two. These signs are signs of slopes. So when I click OK, I'll still say I don't want to attach it. You should also do the same. You realize even just from the look of things here, the shape was changed. When we come to 3D, that's what you'll have. You see that? That is what they call a gable roof. When I come to my visual style and I select realistic, you'll see something like that. I believe you have seen houses that have roofs like this. These sides are called gable, so they are always covered up by parapet walls. Parapet walls are basically walls that you start creating from roof level to the real roof. Actually, they're just walls at the roof level. That's the basic term I can use. So now you have seen two roofs. We have seen a hipped roof. We have seen gable roof. Now we are going to our real roof, which is a lean-to roof. I'll go back to the visual style. I'll turn this to shaded. Then I'll click on the roof. I'll come to edit footprint, back to roof level. Now we're going to change this to lean-to roof. So to make this a lean-to, I want to divide this house into, I want to divide the roof into 4 different parts. I guess I'll create the roof here. I'll create, these are 2 roofs. Then here, yeah, I'll create 4 roofs here, 4 different roofs. Of course, I'll come to pick line as always. I'll pick this line, then I'll pick this line, I'll pick this line, and I'll pick this line. Now we shall come to trim. First of all, we shall come to split. I'll split the first roof we created. I'll also split this one. I guess that's all. We shall come to trim. We shall trim this to this. We shall trim this to that. And then I need to do more pickings. I'll pick this. I'll come to pick lines. I'll pick this. Then I'll come to trim. I'll trim this to that. Revit has complained a lot. I'm sure we have made a lot of mistakes here. So again, we shall extend this to this. And then I think I can do this to that. I'll need to pick more lines. I'll come to pick line. I'm sure this will be a little bit confusing, but at the end of the day, you'll understand. I'll come to trim. I'll trim this to this. I'll trim this to that. I'm basically creating so many roofs at the same time. So I'll delete that line. So this side I'll have to trim this to this. I'll have to trim this to that. And then we have this roof, we need one more roof. I'll come to pick line, I'll pick this line, I'll pick that line. So I'll come to trim. Revit is already complaining because of too many drawings. So I'll extend this to that, I'll extend this to this. And then we have a problem here. So I'll extend this to that. I think now we have problem, because this side here we need to see how we can deal with it. So to make life easier for us, we shall split this roof into two. So I'll delete this one, I'll delete this one, I'll delete this one. I'll just come to trim. I'll extend this to this part here. And then we shall delete this one here. So I'll delete this one here. And then I can come to trim. I'll trim this, I'll extend it to that. One part is done, that side is done. And then of course we need to pick line. We shall pick this line here. Then I'll come to trim. I'll trim this to this. I'll extend this to that. I think now we're okay. We are now fine. I hope Revit will not shout for us here. When I tick, there's a complaint already. There's a part here that is moving on different directions. So I'll come to trim and extend. I'll extend this to this one here. I don't know why I picked the exterior side for this one here. Anyway, for now, let's leave it at that. I'll click here. We still have problem. The sketch defines more than one footprint. Now that is the kind of problem we have. So we continue. What I'll do for now, let us delete one side completely. We delete one side, and then we shall see if we are complying with the Revit. So let's select that and then don't attach. It has accepted. Now it has created the roof, which is a hipped roof on one side. And then we have one more side that we need to take care of. So we shall come to back to, of course, this side here. We shall select the roof. We shall edit footprint. Now this time we shall only leave a slope where water is going to pour. You leave a slope where the span is shortest, which I believe is that side. So I'll select this. I'll remove the slope. I'll select this. I'll remove the slope. Select this. I'll remove the slope. Then of course now I'll have this. I'll make the slope active, because what is going to pour that side, this one will have no slope. When we click OK and we don't attach and we go to the 3D, you'll see now the roof is sloping this side. Only one side is sloping, right? And basically that's what we want to achieve. We want the roof to slope like this. We don't worry about the angle. It is still steep, but we shall change that. Back to the roof level, we're going to create another roof. So still here, our roof, we are going to pick line. So we shall now create the next roof. So we shall pick this side, we shall pick this side, pick here, pick here, pick here. And then I hope it was from this side. Now we can go to trim this, we trim that, and then we shall remove this slope, we shall remove that slope, we shall remove this slope, we shall even remove this slope. We shall leave these two, we shall click OK, we shall not attach. When you come to your 3D, you'll see something like that, which is almost a gable roof, but eventually it will not be a gable roof. So now you can select any of them, you edit footprint. We shall basically change, when you come to the roof level, you click on this line where you see the angle or the degree of slope, you can bring it to 5 degrees so that it is not over here. We shall bring it to 5 degrees, just like that. When we click OK, you don't attach, you come to a 3D, you see now the angle is a little bit narrow. Click on the second roof, you come to edit footprint, you go to roof, and then you come here, you click on that, you change this to 5 degrees. Then you click on this, you change it to 5 degrees. Then you tick, don't attach, come to 3D and see what you have done. So basically that is the slope of our roof, and it is now perfect. It is really perfect. It's what I wanted to achieve. And from this point now, we are actually ready to create our parapet walls. You can create your parapet walls just following these lines, but these roofs are supposed to be inside. Actually, as I said, they're supposed to be on the interior side, so we shall still edit footprint here. Instead of this side, I could simply just click on one. I'll just use my key, these arrow keys on the keyboard, to drag it inside. I don't want to waste time. Click on this, I drag inside. You can also use the pick line again to pick these lines, and then you trim, which I believe is more work, and we caused it ourselves anyway. So now we have that. I can now click, I'll tick this, I don't want to see that message again. So this other one is okay, everything is from the interior, so we still have that intact. Now we can create our parapet walls. I'll come to architecture, I'll select wall, which is of course our wall that we created. When you click on this drop down, you can pick the wall you created by name. Of course, now this is where the name matters. They will give you all different walls. Now you select the one you created, and the base offset of course is 0 from the roof level, and the uncoordinated height, let us put 1,200 for now. We shall reduce because for now let us put it at that. So we shall follow our ground floor walls so that the walls are not uncoordinated. They have to follow the lines just like this. You make sure you create walls everywhere here around the roof. These are parapet walls. So like that, you go all the way, all around the house, just like that. Now we are finished. I can escape. When we come to our 3D, you will see something like that. You see that? Now you can't, if you zoom here, you can't see the roof, right? The roof is nowhere to be seen. Let me come to visual style and change it to realistic. So basically that's what we have. This wall that we have created is parapet wall. It is used to just hide the roof. The roof is hidden, but we still have more work to do, because if you orbit like this, you see there are spaces here. That means if we leave these ones, our house will leak, and that's not what we want to have for our house. So back to roof level, I'll change this to shaded as always, not really shaded. This will be hidden line. Then we're going to continue creating wall. I can click on any of the parapet walls. I'll say create similar, which is the CS. I'll just create one more wall here in the middle. So just like that. When we come to the 3D, we shall see the wall in the middle. See this wall here, it has been created. Now it protects this part that is likely going to leak. So here we shall now use this parapet actually to create a design. We shall now turn it into a design, and according to the design we have, our roof is actually supposed to be just a slab. It's not supposed to be this kind of roof, but I wanted to show you how to create roofs. So now you know how to create roofs, but then we shall go back to our design and follow what the design has. So not create first of all, we shall leave the roof for some parts, and for some parts we shall use slab. Especially this part here will be a slab. Even the front, in fact the entire front will be slab, but of course the others we can use really roof. So how do you create a slab? Slab is basically just the floor that we created before. For example, I can decide if we come to this roof here, I believe we can actually create we can still hide this roof and create a slab up here, but that will be like really wastage of resource. So for that matter, I'm going to delete the entire roof. I'll delete it off with the parapet walls. That means I've just shown you what to do if you wanted to create a roof. But as I told you, we're going to follow our design. It has slabs. It basically has slabs instead of roof. So I can just select this, all instances visible in view. No, visible in view will select our entire house. So I'll just delete one by one, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. So another thing remaining here, which is our okay. Now from here we are going to start actually doing our facading, because this slab or the roof, which is in form of slab, comes in form of a facade. It's in form of a facade. So the first one is here. The first one is this side here. So we shall create something like a parapet wall, but of course it will eventually become our model or our design. So what I'll do, I'll extend this wall here when I come to the ground floor, this wall will extend a little bit outside. I'll just extend it like this, but of course you can do your measurements. I think I'll extend it up to this veranda here. Now to extend this better, you just come to your line tool, you click on the veranda edge, and then you click on the wall. It will come there. When you come to your 3D, you'll see something like that. You see that it has been extruded outside, and that is what our design demands. Back to the ground floor, I'll also now do the same for this side. I'll just extrude it a little bit. I'll come to the align tool, I'll click on the edge of the slab, and then I'll extrude that. Then when we turn this, you'll see exactly that. You see that? Now what we are going to do, we need to also increase the height of this wall. We shall also extrude it a little bit up. Okay, we shall extrude it a little bit up, or we can simply create a slab up here that is going to act as but I think for that case we shall need to extrude it anyways. So this wall is 3.5, so we shall make it let's say 3.7. That's by 200. 3.7, just like that. It will extrude a little bit up. I see that looks a little bit small. Let's say 3.9. 3.9, just like that. Now we're going to introduce another tool that you'll need to know. The tool is called Create Similar. Now that I've extruded this wall, and if I want to just use the same trick for this, I can come to this match properties. I wanted to mean actually match properties when I said create similar. We've already seen how to use create similar. Now when I click on this match properties, after clicking on it, I'll come to select the properties I want to match. Then I'll take it to this one here. You see, it will just pick the properties of this one and take it to the other one. That's how you use match properties. However, we don't want the entire part of this wall to extrude up, so I'll come to, I think, the ground floor. Then I'll have to split this wall around here where we want it to stop. So I'll come to the split tool. I can split it from here, probably here. And then when I come to my 3D, I'll bring this wall, this side, back to its normal position, which is 3.5. Just like that. That is the uncoordinated height. Then it will come back to 3.5, just like that. See that? Now that's exactly what we want to achieve for that part there. Then of course we shall now create a slab up here to cover that part. I'll create a slab to cover it. Now you can use extrusion. For now I'll not use extrusion. We shall see how to use extrusion in other parts, but I want to use really a slab. From this point I'll just go to the architecture. I'll come to the floor, and then of course we already have our floor that we created. Then I'll come to the roof level. I think I want to create this one at the roof level. I'll pick my lines. I'm going to pick my lines. I'll pick this. I'll pick the exterior side of that, and then this side, and also this side, and even this face. I'll come to the trim tool. I'll trim this to this. I'll trim this to that. I'll trim this to this. I'll trim this to that. Then I'll click OK. And in the 3D, let me see. It is outside here. Okay, it has really come down, it has come below the ground floor. So we know this height is at 3.5, I mean 3.9. We can just say the offset or the height offset from the ground is, first of all, the level should be the roof level. By just changing that, it will change its position. You see that? Because it was appearing on the ground floor. I mean it was appearing on the foundation floor. So now this one we can take it out. We can take it up maybe by from 3.5 to 3.9. That is 300, I guess. So just like that, it now goes up, but it is still not where it is supposed to be. And by the way, you can even use the align tool from here. For example, when I click select one, I go to the align tool, I pick the edge of this wall up here, then I pick this other edge of the slab. It will take the slab up just like that. And then let's see, this is what we have, this is what we have, but of course we need to cover up this part here that is open, it is void. Now to use this, I'll actually go with the extrusion. I'll go with the extrusion to achieve that. And for now, let me first change the colors of this wall, because our house is entirely white. And this is where we're going to see also another tool. I keep bringing these things so that you can interface with most of the tools. Now if you want to simply change the color, you come to this paint, you click on this paint, it will open up all the materials that you have created. Now you see the roof is here, all these other materials. Now I believe we created a white color. You can search for the color you created. They will also give you much more colors. Now our white is here, you just select it and you paint on the wall just like that. It will change the color of the wall. But I see this color is already white. I don't know why the other one was not changing, but now it has changed. It has now changed. You can paint here just like that. You keep painting all the sides of the wall. I don't know why these ones are not changing. They seem to be stubborn. Let me pick it again. It has changed. I guess I was not selecting the right face. So this face here, am I not picking the right face? Oh, it has already painted it white. Yeah, it has already painted it white. I guess we are not seeing it. Even this one can be white. This is white. Okay. Then of course this side, as we said, is going to be a curtain wall. Curtain wall simply means a wall that is in a glass form. That is a curtain wall. So that's what we're going to achieve from here. So you just select the wall, you come to this tool here that says temporary hide stroke isolate. You click on it, then you come to isolate element. It will isolate your wall alone so that you can play around with it the way you want. So now to create a curtain wall, we shall split this wall into pieces. So I'll really split it into pieces, trust me. So you come to your split tool. Then I'll first of all start splitting from here. I'll split it there to split this side. Then I want to also split it at this level, at this head height level. It will split there. Then down here I'll leave a gap of just 400. Then this side we can also split. Let's say we shall just leave a space of let me split from up here. Let me split it. Let's leave a space of 200 also. Now we have this wall that is going to be changed into a glass or a curtain wall. Now what you can do here, after selecting the wall like this, you come to this side where the walls are. You click on this drop down. You now search through the walls. It will show you so many walls, but we scroll all the way down and we want to choose this curtain wall. There's curtain wall, there's exterior glazing, there's storefront. All these are curtain walls. For example, if I select storefront, you see it will create this. It will create it, and it is already a good one for that matter. But of course you can customize. When I select it again, when I come to the walls, I select exterior glazing. It will cause problems here, but we don't want that anyway. What we want is our custom. We're going to just select curtain wall. Okay, type generated gardens will become none. Okay, we understand. Now they are trying to say that they can't change this to what we want. We shall just undo like that. We get back to our wall, we select it, and then we come to the wall tool, we select the curtain wall. Now it has created a glass, a plain glass. It's now up to us to customize it the way we want it to be. So we shall first of all just come to architecture. We look for curtain grid. You click on the curtain grid. From here you can start creating grids. I want to have only 2 grids. I'll have a grid here at 400. I'll have another grid here at 400. Though this one doesn't give me 400, I can click on the grid line. I can still change that to 400, just like that. Then after creating the grids, I'll create only one grid vertically. Yeah, one grid here vertically. Maybe there it has balanced it properly. After creating the grids, we need mullions. So you come to this mullion, you click on it, you come and select all grid lines here, which is at the end. You click on that, then you can just click on this and it will create those panels you see here. And these panels, you can edit them. By the way, I can decide to delete this. I have this open. I can delete anything here. You can customize it the way you want it to be. Now after doing that, I think we are done here. You come back to this temporary hide and isolate. You click on it, you say reset temporary slice isolate, and you see our curtain wall is here. So that is basically how you can create your curtain wall. It is a wall that is in form of glass. The material is glass. That's what a curtain wall is. It is not a door. Though it may look like a door, it's not a window. Though it may look like a window, but it's a curtain wall. It is a wall, really. It's a real wall that is in form of glass. So that's what we wanted to achieve for this side. Okay. Now we are doing well so far. we have actually started facade in our house. This is already facade in the house, and this slab here, I want us to really finish the problem it is causing for us before we can continue. Now, to really finish this up, I am going to, I don't think it is proper to leave this as a void. I don't think so. So what we can do here, I'll just increase the thickness of this slab. I don't know how thick it is going to be, but I think for now I'll delete it. As I said, I'm going to use extrusion. I'll use extrusion, which is going to be an easier way of achieving that. Now for extrusion, you come to architecture, you go to components. You remember how we placed components? We used the place components. For extrusion, we are going to model in place. Click on model in place. You look for generic models, which is here. You can just click on G to take you to generic models. I'll click OK. Then here you can rename it the way you want. Maybe I can say it's front porch slab, something like that. You can write anything really, it doesn't matter. Then we select extrusion. You come to this set, you click on this set, you come to pick lines, not really line, pick a plane, you click OK. Then you come and highlight on the wall face that you want to use as a plane where you are going to draw your extrusion. I'll use this face here. I'll click on it. Then I'll just come to this rectangle too. I'll make sure I turn it in a way that I can see. So actually you can just turn it like this and draw your extrusion. Extrusion gives you the freedom to do anything you want. So I can create that. And here the thickness is that, and the offset is that. You can change a lot of things. The material is even here. I can just give this material. I remember we had white color. We already had white color. I'll just look for the white color. I'll give it that material. I'll click OK. I'll just finish it up. Now it has created something like this. We can now use these edges to just drag it all the way. Can drag it all the way to this side and finish it up. You see that it has created what we have been struggling to create with the slab tool in few minutes or in few seconds. That's how extrusion can work. It really works very fast, and it is an easy way to achieve things fast and of course neatly. I'm going to change this color here to white as this top part of this wall. Of course, to do that, you remember we use this paint. Then we on our white color, we just paint that. I'll just paint this side just like that, just like that. I believe we have achieved the front part of this. The only thing we are left here is there's a part down here where we're supposed to create some kind of railing, and of course we also have some bit of extrusion here. There's some bit of extrusion down here, especially where the slab is. I'm seeing there's some bit of extrusion or a railing kind of design, which I believe we can achieve before we leave this video here. So what I'll do, I'll just create this railing. I'm going to create extrusion anyways. I'll create an extrusion. We can use it as a railing. But for now, let me show you how to create a railing, because this project also has a railing. So to create the railings down here, you need to come to the ground floor. We're going to create it here. You come to architecture, you look for railing, which is here. Then of course, as always, you can pick line or you can draw a line. This time I'm going to draw a line. I'll just draw a line from here up to here, just like that. And then of course, I'll just tick it, and I'll have drawn a railing. When you come to the 3D, you'll see a railing like this. But this railing that we have created is kind of a railing that is supposed to create a space where people are moving. Really, I don't see this side is, I think there's nothing we're going to do with this area here. So what I'll do, I'll come back and create a smaller design that may help us maybe to create plans, just to generate some artistic impression for this porch or the front part of this building. But this is how you can create a railing on your house. Of course, we're going to create a railing, and there's some steps here at the front part, which will come in the fourth part of this project. So for now, I'll just leave it like that. We shall come and delete this railing later. And of course, that is it for today. I'll want to see you again, but I hope you subscribe before leaving this video, because we have a lot more coming in this project and even the projects that are going to come after this. So you'll not want to miss any of the projects that are coming. Please make sure you subscribe, you share with your friends, and always encourage them to subscribe. I will see you again in the next part of this project. Thank you.